what can you plant in the southern Alberta garden that every child loves is, of course, the muscari or the grape hyacinth. Now the grape hyacinths are like little upside down inverted bells, and they are very small, and most people plant them close to their home. They come first thing in April, and they are amazing, and they have these cute little packages full of them, and they go in the ground now too. Now here's a little trick. Everybody's always asking me about the alliums. They come in the summer and they see ours blooming beautifully, and they say, now where do I buy these? So you buy them now at this time of year and you plant them. This is Purple Sensation. I've never really had much luck with the really big headed one. Doesn't really work. But this Purple Sensation is a stunner, and it is very beautiful. But you have to be careful and deadheaded. As soon as it's done blooming, the bulb will get bigger and bigger and bigger underneath. But it will seed everywhere in your garden. You'll be thinking that darn girl from Vale's greenhouse told me to plant these, and now they're everywhere. Cheodoxa. I have lots of these little Cheodoxa in my alpine garden, and they naturalize very beautifully there, and they come in this assortment of colors. They do come in a little bit of a darker blue, but I'm going to be planting a few more of these in my garden, in the alpine garden. They and the muscari plant can be planted quite close together, and that's a nice little thing to have. And then of course we have the crocuses, and I love crocuses. Now this isn't the native crocus. The native crocus in southern Alberta, or what we call crocus, is a pulsatilla. Totally different type of plant. However, this is a type of crocus that you would find in England. Now they often talk about the crocuses being naturalized in your lawn, but I'm afraid our type of lawn and our type of soil, they won't naturalize in your lawn here. So we do have to plant the crocuses in the beds. Don't try to naturalize them. They won't work that way. Now the other thing that I really love is little Scilla. And if everybody remembers the Flower Fairy books as I do as a child, these were perfect little blue dresses for the little flower fairies. I love Scilla just because they come first thing in the spring. They're blooming in April, and and they can be planted right next to the Cheodoxa and the muscari as a little group planting, and they look beautiful together, and it just makes me know that spring is close. And then one of the other things that I really like, and I plant these in my alpine beds, this is a little tiny bulb iris. It's not an iris that you think of as a big dramatic iris. This is only about 4 or 5 inches high, and they can be planted with the Scilla, but I'm going to plant these in my alpine bed, because by the time the alpines are coming along, these are completely over, because they're going to burst out in early to mid-April, along with some of the native crocuses, the pulsatillas. Now I did put a nice bag of daffodils in here. Now I have never had much luck with daffodils in this garden. I plant them faithfully and get 2 out of the 50 or 60 bulbs I plant. They never do very much, and partly because they just get too dry in the winter, and also they need to be very well established. So sometimes if I plant them one year, they bloom a couple of years down the road if we haven't accidentally dug them up. But I've never had much luck, and it depends on where you live in Calgary and if it's a little more protected. Hit and miss. Better for the forcing trays if you really want them.